This is New Mexico United Black and Yellow Report, hosted by the KRQE Sports Department.
Hello and welcome to the Black and Yellow Report. We will have everything you need to know about New Mexico United.
In this week's edition, we will once again get to know a United player and highlight you, the fans, but coming off of a bye week, we'll also find out how productive that was.
Yeah, Jared, New Mexico United didn't play this past week, taking a much-needed break, but it also gave them time to prepare for a huge game this Saturday.
Yep, that's right. United returns to Jägermeister Cup play in what will be a crucial game as they start a 3-game road trip in San Antonio, and whoever wins this game will be in control of the group.
San Antonio is in first place in the group standings while United is second, 3 points back. United needs to win to take control of the group. You can watch the match on the 26th on our KRQE Now app on Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV. Now, since there was no game this past weekend, we thought we would look at some of the best plays of the year so far.
Yep, we asked New Mexico United management their thoughts on the best plays so far, and they gave us two, with the first coming in their last meeting with San Antonio.
To stoppage time we go. Gaines sends the cross in. Fernando heads home at the back post. The Kings of Chaos strike again. Why not go for another? Here's Gaines, able to get on the end of this. Sanchez retreats now back into his net. Fernando once again backheels it. Vargas, New Mexico have now doubled up their lead. Marlon Vargas puts the nail in the coffin.
2 goals in less than 2 minutes. They would love that result this weekend against San Antonio. Now to United's second choice, and it comes from the thrilling shutout at the Lab against Colorado Springs.
Is Charlie Adams, the Englishman, second half substitute to get things started in this shootout. And it's saved by Tambakis. Zandy has it saved. Tambakis stands taller than the columns at the Acropolis. But their captain, Matt Mahoney, looking to keep this match alive. Mahoney goes off the woodwork. New Mexico prevail in the first ever penalty shootout here at the Lab in front of 10,500. 2 saves from Tambakis.
Good stuff. New Mexico United kicked off its inaugural high school summer classic this past week, which featured 12 of the state's best varsity programs at their Mesa del Sol soccer complex.
United aims to promote New Mexico high school soccer by hosting and providing the resources necessary for the tournament. La Cueva won this year, with El Dorado finishing in second. The third-place game came down to a penalty shootout, with Albuquerque High getting the win with an incredible save for the victory. United plans on this being a yearly tournament to show off the skills of high school soccer players. The Black and Yellow Report just getting started. Up next, we'll have the gaffer in the house.
Yep, come on back. Dennis Sanchez gives us his thoughts on San Antonio and much more in this week's Kicking It with Coach.
Welcome back to the Black and Yellow Report, and it is now time to kick it with Coach. We are here with head coach and technical director for New Mexico United, Dennis Sanchez. Thanks for joining us once again.
Always happy to be here.
Yeah, it's so great to see you every week, man. And I guess, first off, we've had some time off. Obviously, it was a tough loss. I just want to get your thoughts right out of the gates on that game winner.
Against Charleston,
Yeah.
So no, it was a tough result for us. You know, obviously, we have our own internal expectations that every time we step on the field, we want 3 points, and especially when you're at home in front of our amazing supporters, you want to win. But I think that, you know, when you look at the, I would say, big picture, there's a lot of things that I really liked from our group. You know, we talk all the time about being the protagonist, being in control, and I thought that, you know, really over the course of 90 minutes, outside of 2 set-piece moments, I thought that we did a really good job of, you know, stopping the best attacking team in the league, being aggressive with and without the ball. I still think that there's always going to be room for us to improve in, you know, how we are with the ball, our finishing attacks, creating more goal-scoring opportunities. But I would say overall, the mentality and the approach that we took will be something that we lean on moving forward. So, as a coach, it's, always half glass full. Don't get too high, don't get too low. But the reality is too, like, we know we're, especially over probably say the last 3 to 4 games, starting back in Lexington, giving up some leads. We know that we're better than that. And now it's about, being able to look yourself in the mirror, coaching staff, players, and just, embracing that challenge versus, pointing fingers or anything. You just gotta move forward, and you gotta work hard, and you gotta get better every single day.
Yeah, but did you get a chance to look back at that goal? The offsides maybe be called? I just want to get your thoughts.
It's hard. It's hard. I think in general, look, referees have a very difficult job. That's why you look across the league, and they have invested in, VAR and different types of technologies. I do think that's an area for our league that we can continue to grow more, just to support the referee. So you just got to hope over the course of a season that, maybe that call didn't go our way this game, but maybe it goes our way in the future.
For sure. And then obviously another positive out of that one, we got to see Greg Hurst back on the pitch. Just talk about him and how much of an impact that you hope to see him make. I know it's kind of a situation where you kind of want to slowly work him in, but just kind of give us an update on him.
Yeah, I think that the reality is we've believed in our entire roster. We expected and know Greg can be, a goal threat every time he steps on the field. He showed that in his, last year, at the beginning of this year. And I think ultimately it was the right decision for him, for the club to, go on with the surgery, get fixed, and rather than, going over the course of the season and only being at, a percentage of what he's capable of getting him to come back at this important stretch at 100%. So, there's no doubt, we miss him. We've missed Kalen. We're going to miss Brucey. But I've also challenged these guys in these moments to stay connected to the group, find different ways that they can lead, off the field, that they can stay involved, because there's no doubt that they can still influence the group in a positive way.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go a little bit more on that. Obviously, losing Brucey's hurt, you're down Kalen. Those are the big, morale booster guys. Yeah. Do you still see them? I mean, obviously they love the Shield. They love this club. Yeah. Do you still see them having a big part of this team moving forward?
I do. I think, Brucey's obviously a little bit different situation where he'll be out for the rest of the season. But at the same time, the guy comes in, whether he's playing or not, with the right energy every single day. And I'm such a huge energy person that it can be a domino effect in a negative way if you're coming in and having negative energy, or the other way and having positivity. So I think the most important thing for us right now is that we're here for Brucey. Yeah. We're helping him through this time. Of course, we will lean on him, whether it's him working with the strikers or giving input, or, just being somebody that's around that you can go ask his opinion of. Like, we'll do that. We've done that with Kalen. We've done that with Greg. You feel this eagerness to get back on the field from all of them. So it's all you can ask for.
For sure. And then looking ahead now, you got a road stretch, tough road stretch, 3 tough matches starting this weekend at San Antonio FC, Jägermeister Cup. Just talk about this stretch of games.
Yeah, I love it, right? You want to be challenged. We talk about facing adversity head on, not only facing it, but overcoming adversity. What a great opportunity for us to take another step from a mental perspective, a psychological perspective as a group. And I love that we're going in knowing that we have to win to really be in control of our own destiny. We talk all the time that pressure is a privilege. So to even be in that situation, we're in a different spot than a lot of other teams that are involved in Jägermeister Cup right now. And the reality is that we've beat San Antonio already this year, and we have full belief that we can do it again. So look, there's no easy game in this league. We'll take it one game at a time, but the guys are going to be ready to go. For sure.
So yeah, you guys are 3 points behind San Antonio in the Cup standings. You did beat San Antonio last time, but they've won every single match since you guys beat them. Yep. It just seems though like we've talked about this before, but it seems like when you guys are backed into a corner, that's when you guys really achieve. Do you think that, and like, do you see that in your players, especially going to a matchup like this in the Jägermeister Cup?
Yeah, 100%. I think that if you look at some of the more statement-esque games this year, Monterey, when Monterey was up in the standings earlier in the year, San Antonio a few weeks ago, even Charleston, again, I know that we lost, but I think that from a mentality standpoint, performance standpoint, there's a lot of good things to pull away. So the reality is we're learning about ourselves every time we step on the field, but the guys are going to be full of confidence. They put in a good couple weeks of work on the field, and we're going to go in there and get 3 points.
I like it. So what are you looking at this matchup? Beat them before, changing anything up? What do you see?
I think a lot of what you look at, what are the strengths of the last time, and I thought that we did a really good job of dueling and 50-50s and loose balls and really taking away what San Antonio has been known for the last few years of, they called it mentality monsters, and it's about matching that, but then also playing our game.
For sure. And so I know this is still just your first season with United. I'm just wondering, from the start to where you are now, how much has like your philosophy changed in coaching and just kind of like molding with this team? You're also changing. Like, just curious from that standpoint.
Yeah, I think it's the same as the players. If this is the beauty of sport, that if you're not growing, you're going to get passed up. And just because it worked last year or the season before doesn't mean that it's going to work this year. So I think that there's a level of, again, knowing who you are, having your identity, believing in your process, but then also being open to, changing things slightly, whether that's, how you build out, how you can finish attacks better, putting players in different spots to see if those strengths will come out. So that's the beauty of sport, is that you just have to keep evolving.
And I think it's really cool evolving. You're actually using Chat GPT.
Yes.
I just found this out. Kind of just describe what you're using that for.
Well, it's something that my girlfriend and my dad have used pretty heavily, and I think that with AI coming in at the forefront, it's how you utilize data is always going to be important, and I'm one that tries to blend the subjective and objective side. But they're basically able to help analyze our team, looking at different metrics throughout our season, things that lend to more wins than losses, our strengths versus areas that we need to improve. So for me, really more than anything, it creates it continues to create our North Star of kind of where we're going, what are the things that we need to specifically continue to work on, how can you bring that into your training environment, and then ultimately into the matches.
Super interesting stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. That'll do it for us. Mexico United at San Antonio this Saturday. More Black and Yellow Report coming your way right after the break.
Welcome back. Each week on the Black and Yellow Report, we will highlight a player from the main team and sometimes from the academy.
That's right, Van. In this week's player profile, we will showcase United's Brazilian striker, Luis Fernando.
Ball and boxing, that's what I do. Hi guys, it's Luis Fernando. It's my first season with New Mexico United. Let's go. So last season they have a really good season. I see a lot of players coming back. So I know coming here was like the move, and also I know Itamar, the director. So that's why he make it easier for me to come here. I rest, I like to rest. Sometimes I go to restaurants, eat, I like to train boxing too, because I've been training boxing and soccer growing up, so I like to do that. Ball and boxing, that's what I do. Usually, I listen to Brazilian raps, Brazilian music, musics that remind me of things that I went through, that give me strength to go into the game focused and ready. They love it, they love every time I put on, they're dancing, everyone is, is just dancing with each other, so it's just cool, man, it's nice. It's amazing, having so many fans like that, kids, parents, grandparents, very special for me. Keep believing, we're gonna keep training hard every day for you guys and give you guys everything that we can give, and yeah, thanks God. Let's go.
I Now, while United did not play this week, fans still wanted to show off their black and yellow spirit.
And we will start with Gabriel, who is enjoying his first game for his 13th birthday. Molly Apodaca is up next, and she got back to New Mexico just in time to watch the dramatic penalty kick shootout with Colorado Springs in June. Yep, the selfie game is strong.
And she is such a big fan. Everyone knows her name wearing the United gear. If you'd like to send us your New Mexico United photos, go to newmexicounited.com and click on their website. Simple, right? There's still plenty to come on the Black and Yellow Report. When we come back, we will have Soccer 101. Welcome back. It's now time to get to Soccer 101, where we will provide more information on the game to the casual fan. Jared Chester has more.
Thanks, Van. That's right. It's now time for another edition of Soccer 101, and we are graced by the presence of Technical Director and Head Coach of New Mexico United, once again, Dennis Sanchez. I thought this week we could talk about substitutions and what the rules are in the USL Championship and how much strategy actually goes into it.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that I would say one of the hardest parts as a coach is you really spend a lot of time during the week to help them be prepared for the match, but there's only so many things that you can do to influence the game in real time. So substitutions is one of the best ways to do that. Within USL, you get 5 substitutions per game. There's technically a room for a 6th substitution if a team decides to use concussion subs, which has been a great rule in addition to not only USL but domestically over the last few years. But then with that, I think that from my personal standpoint, I used to be, and I still do it, but try to be as prepared as possible for different situations. But there's also such an art and feeling of the game of what's needed in that moment. So even though go through how do we want to finish the game if we have a lead? What does it look like if we're down a goal, if we're tied, or you kind of play through these different situations. And between myself and myself, we're always prepared. But there's also I wouldn't say I go to that chart during the game. It's very much a feel of how players have done throughout the week. What type of energy are they bringing in? What are the things that we're missing within the game or need to take advantage of? So there's a lot of consideration, and I think the other part of that too is like timing. Timing's really important. So reading the ebbs and flows of the match of, if your team's down and needs more energy, is it the right time to do it? Or if you have momentum, to be patient. And then, all meanwhile, you always want to give players an opportunity to influence the game. And if you only give them, 3 minutes or 5 minutes, it's difficult. Sometimes it works out that way for different reasons. But I try to, as much as we can, give players at least an opportunity to come on and find rhythm within the game. For sure.
And do you see some players that are too just a spark off the bench that is very good for you to bring in later in the game because they do provide that spark,
100%. And I hope that's everybody. Yeah. I know a lot of guys, don't want to be considered as the 12th man or in basketball the sixth man coming off the bench. But there are a number of players that have, shown throughout the season, have brought good energy, helped us find goals, helped us secure victories. So the expectation is that they all do that. But there's, I would say, definitely a few guys that continue to bring energy off the bench.
Well, thank you so much for the insight. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Soccer 101. Van, back to you.
New Mexico United hoping for that kind of magic this weekend, as it is a must-win situation in San Antonio for the Jägermeister Cup. United needs to win the game to take control of their group. The game starts at 7 p.m. on Saturday, and you can watch on New Mexico 50 or KRQE.com. And that does it for this episode of the Black and Yellow Report. If you are looking for the latest United gear, head to their website at newmexicounited.com.
Until next time, stay united, and as always, we'll catch you on the other side of the pitch.